Good evening, I'm Rick Dancer, and welcome to Get Real with Rick Dancer. And I'll tell you what I should start doing is a pre-show before the show. Because our guests tonight, we've all been having a fun time talking about life and campaigns and all kinds of stuff. And I feel bad because I'm telling you guys when you missed out on all of this. But anyway, you're going to hear a lot more. Marc Thielman is here, candidate for Oregon governor, talking a little bit about that, but really talking more about some controversy going on. And we're taking the power away from the traditional media, and they actually had to fold, which is kind of a win and fun for me. I like that. So that's coming up. Marc will be here in a little bit. Bill Lundun's going to be up first with the news because he's talking about that, and then we'll get to Marc as well. And then Vicki Pruitt is coming to talk about a cool fair in Albany that they've been doing, and it's like a body, mind, and soul thing. It's kind of the whole person. And I'll tell you, after what we've gone through in the last 2 years in Oregon, I need my body, my mind, and my soul all connected, reconnected. And so this is an opportunity, not this weekend, but next weekend, that you can go to this big fair with a whole bunch of people, and you can find out, just have something in common with people for a change. And then Kim Stark, she took the kids down to gamble at the casino in Florence. And she can't do anything because she's in the green room and she can't stick up for herself. I can bring her in real quick and go, oh my God, no, yeah. But she's gone. Oh, it's just, I can't keep her on there. She didn't take them to gamble. They're on the beach with their dad having fun. And Kim is down there because there's a new room that they're going to show down at the casino. And also we have our question of the night, which you are going to win some tickets to the fair we were just talking about for that question. But we'll get that question to you in a couple of minutes here. Who's talking already? I know I'm a little early, but that's because it's Thursday. Split your guts. Let's hear it. No, I'm not going to tell you what we were talking about. Everything that happens before the show is like what happens in Vegas. You can't talk about it. So who are our sponsors? Well, Chris Dental Family Dentistry, where everyone is welcome, despite your vaccinated status. It doesn't matter. Dr. Bratlin feels like your health is important. Your oral health is important, no matter what your choices are. And he's very pro-choice, and he's a very freedom-loving guy. And since he's been coming out and really speaking out, in fact, let me show you how he speaks out. I'll do that right now. Here we go.
This is Dr. Michael Bratlin with Chris Dental. Oregonians allowed the lockdowns to remain in effect for 2 long years. 2 years. We allowed government officials to dictate what we put on our face and what we put on our bodies with little opposition and not enough questions. Why do I bring this up now? Because trust me, they will bring back masks next winter after the elections. Next time, don't be complacent. Actually follow the science and let your voices be heard. Next time, stand up to these power-hungry politicians.
And he is busier than ever since he took a stand for what he believes in, not against anything, but for freedom of choice. And he's been really, really busy. Our other sponsor is Derek Roser Real Estate Group. And I'm going to be showing you a picture. He's got some property tonight we're going to put up there that you can look at, some rural property that's for sale. And we're doing that every week when he doesn't have a show. When he does have a show, he's promoting local businesses. And howdy, Rick, what's that? Both Hutchins are here commenting. Oh, okay. Well, the whole family can comment if you want to. I'm tired of media elites. I watch independent news. Well, we love that you watch independent news, and I'm happy that you're here. So let's get the open. Oh, did I forget to do the open? Look at that. I didn't. Well, Bratlin got his time, right? And our other sponsor tonight is Albert Taylor, Endless Possibilities. And Albert Taylor, we have a little 1-minute thing coming up in a little bit, but they do the greatest things for people. They work with people with different abilities and make sure that they have the things that they want to do in their life. And it's an amazing organization, and we're so happy to have them on board. And they're always looking for employees because it's tough work. And so they sponsor our show every month. And in fact, let me just let you hear something from them.
Simon Sinek is very popular these days with why. Well, the why and DD, not a lot of ambiguity there. Okay. I don't have to spend a lot of time explaining to new employees what we do and why we do it. It's very, very apparent, versus, you look at other things and, you look at it and say, kind of what do we do? Why do we matter? why should I feel good about my job every day? And I think that is something that we provide for people, is that connection to a why, that what you're doing makes a difference to the individuals, to the larger community, is very, very, very clear. And I think in this world, with all the turmoil and everything that's going on, that sense of purpose and connection is very, very important. I think there's a lot of people out there looking for that.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah, we just had that conversation today, and they have 15 homes, group homes, where people work and they live and are supported. And then they also have people that live on their own, and they just go in and do things like their bills and maybe get them to their exercise class on time and stuff like that. Because people with different abilities should be treated exactly like everybody else. And that's all they want. They don't want to be special. They just want to be like all the rest of us. Speaking of special, here's Billy Lundun.
Good evening from the News Radio 1120 AM and 93.7 FM KPNW studios. I'm Bill Lundun, co-host of the Wake Up Call, heard on this station 6 a.m. to 9, Monday through Friday mornings. And here's the official news. Well, one thing that is notable about this election season in the primaries for governor, we have a lot of candidates, 19 on the Republican side at last count, 17 on the Democratic side, which for many people was surprising that there were that many Democrats that were vying to go to the general election in November. And while that may seem like a cumbersome number, one media outlet, KATU TV in Portland, found it to be very cumbersome, but yet they still wanted to do televised debates. So they were trying to put that together, realized, wow, there's a lot of people here. So they came up with a screening process to limit the size of its candidate debates for the May 17th primary. And they caught so much flack that now they've just canceled all of them. The station had set a contribution level of $750,000, which would have winnowed down the 19 GOP candidates to 5. Former House Minority Leader Christine Drazen, Salem oncologist Bud Pierce, Sandy Mayor Stan Pulliam, former state representative Bob Tiernan, and political consultant Bridget Barton. The requirement was to have also narrowed down the 17 Democrats to 2. Former House Speaker Tina Kotek and current state treasurer Tobias Reed. Less well-financed candidates, led by Democrat Patrick Starnes, a cabinet maker from Brownsville, urged KATU to use a different criteria, like whether the candidate appears in the voters' pamphlet, actually has a website, has generated a certain amount of media coverage. But this week, KATU, after getting hammered by both sides, pulled the plug on primary debates altogether. They said in an email, we're going to concert our efforts on a debate with the primary winners in the general election. Now, as I've said before, while there are some of those candidates that are well known, we don't know anything about some of the lesser known candidates. And who's to say if they didn't actually have some valid ideas and maybe people that actually were more well qualified to run state government than, say, the ones who are the front runners right now. We may never know. Well, the Oregon Hospital Political Action Committee, easy for me to say, is betting $140,000 on anyone but Tina Kotek for governor. The industry group for hospitals donated the money to 3 gubernatorial candidates, giving unaffiliated Betsy Johnson $60,000, Tobias Reed, the Democrat, $40,000, and Republican Christine Drazen $40,000. And the money is yet another indication that really the only major group support that Tina Kotek is getting right now is from unions. Democratic Governor Jay Inslee of Washington State has now signed a bill that will ban the sale, manufacturing, importing, and distributing of firearm magazines that hold more than 10 rounds of ammo. The Democratic-backed measure, which goes into effect in July, makes Washington the 10th state to enact a ban or restrict so-called high-capacity magazines, which are defined as holding more than 10 rounds, although I'm not sure who really defines that as high capacity, other than maybe the politicians that are making up the rules. But according to the bill, quote, the legislature intends to limit the prospective sale of large capacity magazines while allowing existing legal owners to retain the large capacity magazines they currently own. The legislation exempts licensed firearm manufacturers and dealers. They can still sell the large capacity magazines to law enforcement agencies or branches of the armed services. And they can still sell them to people buying them who don't reside in the state. It would also not restrict people who already possess a high-capacity magazine from leaving the state with that magazine and then coming back with the same magazine. Under the bill, though, violations of the magazine restrictions would be considered a gross misdemeanor, punishable by 364 days in a county jail and a possible fine of up to $5,000. Pretty hefty fine. So, I guess, in Washington, welcome to the state of future felons of America. Well, apparently fraud was kind of a thing in Oregon during the pandemic and across the nation, and the target was federal money to keep businesses afloat. So far, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Oregon has brought charges against 14 people accused of submitting fraudulent applications for coronavirus relief funds, totaling more than $183 million. Another 24 cases have been resolved after the suspects returned the money or reached settlements, and a dozen more investigations still remain open. That, according to Ryan Bounds, the lead COVID fraud prosecutor for the U.S. Attorney's Office in Oregon. And at this point, according to him, it's likely there's still more fraud out there that they haven't even found yet. The Justice Department reported back in early March that its civil and criminal investigations had uncovered about $80 billion in attempted fraud through coronavirus relief programs. But that may represent only a fraction of the fraud. Last year, Hannibal Ware, the Inspector General for the U.S. Small Business Administration, said they'd uncovered nearly $80 billion in potential fraud through its economic injury disaster loan program alone. Representatives from about a dozen different federal law enforcement agencies have been meeting biweekly in Oregon since September of last year to review leads and coordinate investigations into potential coronavirus fraud. Among the agencies involved in the task force are not only the U.S. Attorney's Office in Oregon, but also the SBA, the Office of Inspector General, and the FBI. And according to officials, they expect their work investigating potential fraud is going to continue for several years. Well, workers, specific types of workers, across the state have been rallying, demanding Oregon leaders and the state take accountability in a caregiver pay crisis. Ooh, do I smell an IT issue coming on? According to the Service Employee International Union 503, thousands of caregivers across the state are being paid late or not at all by the state. The union says a new system designed to fix the issue hasn't worked. According to the union, the state has been using inadequate equipment to process pay. That would be IT stuff. Plus, according to the union, they're using an inadequate system that doesn't adequately meet the needs of the size of the workforce. Now, the Oregon Department of Human Services, which processes the paychecks for home care workers of the union, claims their new timekeeping system is required to meet federal mandates. Well, that's funny. It's required to meet federal mandates, but what DHS didn't say is whether it was actually meeting the federal mandates. Now, it was launched in December of last year, and they say that they're continuing to successfully provide paychecks for providers statewide. The question is, they didn't answer whether those paychecks are getting there late. That's a problem. DHS also says it's conducting outreach to home care workers. That might indicate there's a problem. Is updating training. Yeah, that might indicate a problem. Has added staff for support. That's the same thing that the employment department did and continues to add more resources for home care workers. No mea culpas there. All right, Rick, time for you to get really raw and real, really raw, like uncooked, like, freshly killed raw. Get real, Rick.
Well, Bill, I can't in Washington State. They don't have any guns. Oh, God, I can't believe I said that. I'm going to get in trouble for that one. Somebody's going to get offended. And do you know what I think about offense? I think you choose to be offended. But you know what? Here's something. Are you looking for here's a tie-in. Are you looking for a place to build a house? Well, Derek Roser Real Estate Group has 5 properties on there. One is on Peoples Road in Eugene, one on the McKenzie Highway area in Vida. That's 38 acres. The first one's 2 acres. Arrowhead in Springfield or in Eugene is 0.7 acres. There's one in Royal Ann in Eugene for 0.34 acres. And Moon Mountain in Eugene, a 0.35 acre lot. Those are your 5 different acre lots. And you guys also, you can go on their Facebook page and check out their open houses for the week and find out more about this. Just check in with Derek. He's one of our sponsors and always doing good stuff in the community. And he'll be on next week he features a business a month for his show. And then we give away stuff, but don't tell Facebook, because if we talk about that on Facebook, they shut us down. They don't like that. Oh, I'm a bad man. Marc Thielman, running for governor of Oregon. So you were kind of part of this whole KATU thing going down. You were one of those people that were kind of putting the screws to KATUs. And
yes.
Kind of fill people in on what happened and why this is so important.
Well, this has been a kind of an ongoing issue. So way back in March, we originally were told that the qualifying criteria for the televised debates, and they were negotiating between Democrats and Republicans, was $100,000 and 1,000 donors. And my campaign worked diligently, and we met that benchmark. And 3 days later, they canceled the debates. And so that created a back and forth that led to KATU saying, we're going to do the debate, Republicans and Democrats. And they interviewed me in a meet the kind of a feature of meet the candidate, and still no information other than the original criteria. And then lo and behold, hey, there's too many Republicans, 750,000. That's going to be the cutoff. And it doesn't matter how many donations you had. And so I'm like, hey, wait a minute. You can't change. It's like swapping horses in the middle of the river. Okay. I mean, we'd already booked the date on the calendar for the second time. And when we reached out to KATU, it was like a giant, vast wasteland of just this weird tumbleweed sound. So if you can't get any resolution, you can't get answers. That's KATU sounding a lot like trying to get answers from Governor Brown. So what I did is I got out on a little video and I let everyone in my campaign circle know what was going on. And then I just simply said, progressives have screamed bloody murder about not affecting the outcomes of elections. And the media has said we should not affect the outcome of elections. We need fair and open processes. I think you remember some of that, Rick, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then what did they do? Well, they immediately created arbitrary criteria that created a pay-to-play scenario. So my favorite is the candidate, Bob Tiernan, Republican. He's not a bad man. I'm not here to disparage the man. But he had a whole 2 donors on the day that he registered with the Secretary of State. $500,000 from him and $500,000 from his business partner. I had 1,200. And so, I didn't have the benefit of having $500,000 because I have 9 kids. And so I had, 20,000. So you can see the difference.
Yeah. And Marc, what's kind of frustrating about that too is not just Republicans, but Democrats and everybody keeps saying, get money out of this process. And so what are you doing? Now you're using the amount of money you make to determine who gets to be in the debate. So the very thing that Oregonians are screaming for to get money out of to stop being about money. I think they should give everybody, you get $100,000 each. Now, you want to be a good governor? Let's see how smart you are about using that to get your attention out there. and then let's see how creative you are. That would show a super good governor, rather than how many unions can you suck off of, how many people can you shake hands and get money from, because it's all about money. And this now, but so I'm so excited that this got canceled, because now it'll be people, it's going to be up to people again to have to not just suck off the media teat, but to go out and really figure out who the people are that they want to vote for. So you guys have come up with a plan for your guys, what you're going to do. There's a couple of different options for people. Why don't you tell people real quickly about that?
Well, naturally, a lot of the grassroots advocacy groups, so Timber Unity jumped on it. Some of us grassroots folks in the grassroots side of the Republican Party, we all contacted each other, other campaigns, and that created kind of everybody working together. So there's two options. I think Timber Unity is going to try to hold a natural resource Republican forum on April 7th. And the same night that KATU was supposed to do that. And of course, that'll be live streamed. And this is what it's all about, because prior to this, we were letting, as a party, we were essentially letting media and the Democrats dictate whether or not Republicans would be able to get together and have a debate to create their own criteria to narrow the field, if that's what we want to do. To me, that's wrong. If we're going to be the leading party, the party that offers people a real choice, a real option from the overreach of the last 2 years, if we're going to be the party of common sense, the party of real solutions, the party of unity, in which not only can we reach across the aisle, but we can get back to having healthy conversations and healthy disagreements, in all in the pursuit of connection and relationship and truth. If we're going to do that, then we have to stop behaving the way we're behaving.
Right.
See, there was not one single, and I'm going to say this, not one single Republican, including the executive director of the Oregon Republican Party, that reached out to KATU and said, hey, this isn't right.
Right. They're kissing up to the very media that they say is doing this. And so what I hope happens is, I hope the Democrats do the same thing you're going to do, is have a streaming. You don't need media like that anymore. You can put out your own, they could get together. And so I would watch that too, like I would watch the Republican one, but put it out there and do it yourself and get it out of the hands of the institutional media. And just let people, because all the rules they make up is so stupid, and so get out there. Don't have any rules. Just let people go out there and answer the questions that people want to ask. I think that would be fascinating.
Well, it is exciting when you think about it. Grassroots side of the Republican Party is huge. It has exploded. And what's so powerful is, you do a 30-second video. You tell people, hey, here's what's going on. If you think grassroots people need to be represented, call KATU, call this person. You roll the name up, you roll the number, and then you find out that there were hundreds, not just of people that heard my video, but remember, other campaigns started chiming in and reaching out, and that there were hundreds of calls, so many calls that, they blocked the email and okay, hey, we're canceling the whole thing. And you know what? As much as I would love to have a televised debate, we need to have consistency. We need to have fairness, and we need to actually practice and model the values that we espouse. There's a difference between aspiration and action. And my campaign is a campaign of action. And as my track record shows, and this is a critical election. And we shouldn't be saying, well, we're only those who are wealthy and can pay to play get in.
Yeah. Marc Thielman, thank you so much for coming on and talking about that. I appreciate your time and enjoy your company.
Hey, thanks for having me, Rick.
Later. So it's just about fairness. And it's like, so we want money out of the campaign. So you only get to get into the debate if you make a certain amount of money. Kim, I know, Kim, you're hanging out at a casino, but
Rick sent me down here. No, just kidding. I did not bring my kids here, Rick.
We're trying to pick up some more sponsorships. So in the meantime, Kim's gambling in a way to just try to, so I can pay her.
Yep. So got to do the hard work. I know, Kim, this is fun.
Paycheck.
And I get to see this brand new area here. So
tell us about what's going. You and Rick, tell us what's going on there.
Okay.
Do you want to throw out your question, or you want to start talking?
Should we do that? Let's do the question so people can think about it, because it has to do with sports. So as
Okay.
you guys can see behind us, these awesome screens. So this is the new, the gaming area here. It's called the sportsbook area. And Rick Ray is the gaming director. So he's going to tell us about it. Our question Rick came up with tonight. And should we tell him it's a trick question or not? I don't know.
No, you do not tell them it's a trick question.
We're not. You didn't hear us say that. So now, if you're joining in right now, you'll see the question. So the question, do you have it, Rick, to put up there? Is when was the last time Gonzaga won the national championship?
And what do they get for? Oh, what are they going to get for winning that?
Okay, and then we're going to get after I talked to Rick here. We're going to join Vicky over at the Rossani Fair, and she's going to give away tickets to her fair in Albany.
Okay,
So
all
we're all
right. You
over
talked to Rick. So, guys, there's the question. When was the last time Gonzaga men won the championship? And I believe to you guys
Championship in college basketball.
in college basketball.
Right.
Okay. All right, guys.
Okay, all right. So tell us a little bit about this awesome area and what is going on behind us.
So if you're a basketball fan or a sports fan, you know the month of March is dubbed March Madness. We do not use that here. That is trademarked. It's the NCAA college basketball tournament. This is round 3, which is known as the Sweet 16. So the started with 64 teams last Thursday. They played Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Got down to 16 teams, and this is the first 2 games of the Sweet 16. Behind me is a 217 square foot LED wall, totally customizable. We have our odds board right here on the right, and we have the screen set up into 4 games right now. We can go up to 6 games at a time. Tonight, there's only 2 at a time.
Okay.
So this is where you make all your wagers. We have 6 easy-to-use kiosks. It's super simple. A lot of them just maybe don't even know some games are on. They'll come sit down over on the odds board. They'll see what games are coming up. Maybe they're through with the slots. Their wife's gambling. They'll come over and make a bet and sit. You can make a $10 bet, $2 minimum, and sit for 2 hours and enjoy a game with nice cocktail service.
Okay,
And this is really a place to be.
this is great, and especially this time. And tonight, who do you got playing right now for those who
So
aren't
right
aware?
now, I'm a displaced Arkansas Razorback fan. The Arkansas Razorbacks are leading the number 1 team in the country, 34-33, with 17 minutes. We also have Michigan Villanova.
Okay.
Later tonight, Arizona Houston and Duke Texas Tech.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, this is the place to be, you guys. And right now it's nice and quiet. I know it gets busier on the weekends, of course, but this area is really great. So if you guys want to check it out at Three Rivers Casino, and I'm seeing the answers here, Rick, are you seeing? Some people are guessing. I saw Ryan Eaker, I think, first said they never have yet, and somebody else just popped in.
We have the really smart viewers.
I know. We thought it'd be tricky. Maybe I shouldn't have said it was a trick question. I'll learn as we
I
go.
think that might have had something to do with it. No, I mean, I want to give credit to those who said they never won one.
Right. But maybe they're huge fans and they just knew. So
We could always go back to the fruit. What's the happiest fruit? Because that
Right,
one, you stumped them on that.
that one I stumped them on.
You-
I know.
you
I can't
couldn't-
always be perfect with
We
my
couldn't
questions.
get that one.
Mhm. I know.
Rick, it was nice
Smarter
meeting
people.
you.
Nice meeting you, Rick.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think that guy's got a good name. Don't you like his name?
I was going to say, we have too many Ricks
Strong
on
and
the
yet
show.
powerful. I'll leave you.
He's a lot nicer than you, though, Rick. Okay, so our next thing tonight, and thank you so much for joining us, and
Sure thing.
I'll come find you too
All right.
after I'm done. Our next thing tonight is we're heading up to Albany because we have Vicky joining us, and she is with the Rossani Fair, and she's super excited because you haven't had this in 2 years now?
Yeah, we've missed 4 shows during the pandemic, so we are
4
really
shows,
excited
yeah.
to go back at it.
That's right, because you do 2 a year. I
2
forgot.
years, yep, every
Okay.
spring, every fall.
Okay, awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about the fair for those who haven't been before. It sounds
Well,
very
it's
intriguing.
Oregon's premier body, mind, spirit fair. Everything that's holistic health, natural healing. You can get massage, body work, energy healing, sound healing. You can have an astrology reading or an intuitive reading, just anything that will help with unifying and healing a person, kind of get back to where they can start trusting their intuition and just feel better about who they are.
I love that saying, fill your heart, feed your soul. And this is on April 2nd and 3rd, you guys, the Lynn County Expo Center in Albany. And I was going to say, too, so we're giving you guys a preview so you know what's coming up. Vicky was so nice to give us tickets for those who answered the question correctly. So if you do want those tickets, let us know. We'll get those to you there. Tell us a little bit about why you kind of are so involved with this, because I know it's a passion of yours.
Well, it was very grassroots. I'm a massage therapist of 25 years, and I love helping people. But it was kind of hard to help more than just, one person at a time. And I met some really special people that really made me start feeling better about who I was. And I was like, gosh, you guys, people need to know about you. How can you find these kind of people?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we decided to had our first fair back in 2012 with 25 of my friends, and
Okay.
and it was great. We have crystals for sale and did all kinds of stuff, but it was really small. And now we have 100 vendors, and it's just a really beautiful energy. Just feels good to be there. It has that good vibes, and just a place to have some sacred space, get people to have some tools and stuff to heal themselves. So
Yes.
we don't heal you, like do anything like that. It's more,
You're not
we have
magic.
tools to help you heal yourself and whatever spiritual or, health journey that you're on. We have all kinds of holistic health,
Wow.
and natural
Okay.
products, stuff like that.
Okay, and you'll be there giving free massages, of course.
Well, I don't take clients anymore. I'm quite a busy person, but
Dang it. Okay.
pretty busy. So yeah.
Yeah, I bet you are. Well, this sounds really fun. And for those of you who are in the area, it's again April 2nd and 3rd. You can go check that out, get some healing. Everybody needs that these days. And then you have another fair in. Do you want to tell us
October
the
1st
time
and
for
2nd will be the
October
next
1st.
one. And I'd like to also mention too, we do a huge raffle fundraiser for the Family Tree Relief Nursery.
Oh,
And that's
okay.
a local organization here that is for child prevention or child abuse prevention.
Right,
so
right.
yeah. And they're having a diaper drive that is starting in April and stuff. So we just like to kind of get them kickstarted and make some money for them, and a really great cause.
Oh, good. I'm glad you mentioned that. That is a big factor too. Yay. So it's for a good cause. It sounds like a lot of fun. So glad you could join us. We're getting the word out. Rick, you're too far now, but I can make it. So
Yeah. I'll be there in body and spirit.
that's
All
right.
right. Yes. Connect with us.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Yeah. See you later. Well,
I know we're
Kim,
all over tonight, aren't we? Okay.
God, we're in Florence. We're in Albany. We're in.
Mhm.
Mark was in Pendleton. He's doing a speech thing tonight there in Pendleton.
Yes.
We're
So
in
fun.
Livingston, Montana. We are like semi. What would that be? International.
Yeah,
remember,
totally.
Remember last
We should
week?
tell
2
them
weeks?
what you are doing tonight, Rick, or is that tomorrow when you're going with your son?
Well, since Kim is taking her children gambling at the casino,
It's clearly what
I'm
doing.
going to go. My son and his girlfriend and my wife. We're going to Pine Creek Lodge to go play bingo.
Ooh.
So it's an hour of bingo at 7. So I have to hurry up and share this show, and then get moving and get in the car and fly
Get to
out.
your bingo.
A7.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, when in Montana,
Yep.
be like a Montanan. I'm
That's
just trying
right.
to experience it. You know.
I remember when I was excited to play bingo when I was old enough to go down to the casino from Roseburg, so I can't make fun too much.
Well,
True.
you have fun in Florence, and say hi to
We will.
Bettina and everybody else down there. And I will
right.
see you on Tuesday, and we'll see everybody else on Monday.
Have a great weekend. Bye,
All right,
everybody.
thanks for everything. Kim is awesome. She sets all that stuff up. She's the best person I can ever work with. It's great. I love her. So next week we have a bunch of really cool stuff. We're not going to have a show on Monday, and I'll tell you why. It has nothing to do with anything, but I'm having my inspection done on my new home, and so I have to be there from 4 to 6 to be able to check it out. And so I'm just going to cancel the show because my family and my wife and my home is pretty important too. So she gets to come first on that one. But we'll be back on Tuesday with more. I have a really cool story on a guy here in Livingston who takes flies that people tie and make, and he paints them in watercolors in full, like huge watercolor pictures. And went and sat down and talked with him. And it's just a really cool story about art and his spirit and kind of why he does what he does, and how it really helps him kind of connect with his life. And then I'm looking here. On Wednesday, Rosa Realty will be here to feature a local business. And then on Thursday, I have a business expert who will help you sell your business, or if you're looking to buy a business, he'll be here to talk with you. And I also have a friend of mine from Arkansas named Matt, and he's going to come and share his story. It's a little bit of a heartache story, but he's really grown from it, and I think it's going to be a really good show for you guys to listen. So anyway, that should be it. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. I will see you on Tuesday. Share this on your page so other people see it and know about the fair, know about what's going on with the basketball game, know what's going on in the world, and have a better perspective on life. Yeah, I think that's what we do.